Hello again, everybody! Zack Attack is here with the Atakline for Thursday, May 3rd, 2012. Still getting used to it being May, and May feels like June today. 80 degrees here where I'm at in Michigan. Very nice day today. Spent it outside today, riding my bike on the town, enjoying the sights of a nice weather day. Hoping it's as nice as it is here in your neck of the woods. Alright? Since I didn't make an attack line yesterday, a little busy, kicking off with Billboard number ones. Kicking off with your new number one album. After 2 weeks, Lionel Richie's Tuskegee gets kicked off by Jack White in his solo debut, Blunderbuss, which is already number one in UK, kicking off Adele. And it's Jack's first number one album ever, let alone solo, or with the White Stripes, or with the Walking Tours. So congrats to Jack. We also have another new number one country single that is. After 2 weeks, Blake Shelton's Drink on It gets kicked off by Rascal Flatts' Banjo, which becomes the 20th number one single. And we have a still number one single on the Billboard Hot 100 with WTA, somebody that I used to know, winning in for a third week in a row. And also impressing in the top 5 is Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe, landing in the top 5. Of course, we all know her mentor, Justin Bieber, releases his new video, Boyfriend today. Very anticipated by thousands of teen girls, at least anticipated by men like me. Unless you're... Anyway. So there you go, congrats to your new Billboard number ones and old number one. Now before we get on to the rest of the music news and sports news today, I got mentioned a big celebrity news today. Of course, a sexy video came out within a few hours ago, causing a lot of headway. Kate Upton, a supermodel, posted a video of herself doing the Cat Daddy, all in a clad bikini. The footage, shot by Terry Richardson, renowned photographer, known to me and my fellow little monsters as the photographer behind Lady Gaga's book that came out last year, directed this video, and I've seen it. If you haven't seen it, man, it is her doing a Cat Daddy for a few seconds and saying that's enough after like 20 seconds. There's been parodies of it. In Detroit is a local station, Channel 955. And Shannon from Mojo in the Morning shot a video of herself, sans bikini, no bikini, doing the Cat Daddy, parodying Miss Upton, who's of course known for her commercials on Hardee's and it's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated's most recent swimsuit issue. If you haven't seen it, probably almost everyone, especially every warm-blooded male in this nation, seen that video, and I've already seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, sexy video indeed. It's kind of controversial in some people, saying it's too conservative. It got flagged, but it got taken back on YouTube a few hours later. So there you go. Okay, Upton, sexy video, Cat Daddy. Now continuing with the entertainment news of the day, with SNL Saturday Night Live announcing the host for the season finale on May 19th. Not only will this person be hosting the show, he'll also perform. Rolling Stones lead singer Mick Jagger has now been confirmed to host and perform on the season finale on May 19th. There's been rumors of him showing up with Keith Richards, but who knows what'll go down when Mick hosts SNL on May 19th. Now, continuing on with my man, Michael Jackson. Today, Pepsi formally announces a plan to honor Michael Jackson in a new campaign. Now, if you don't know, Michael Jackson had a auspicious relationship with Pepsi, starting in 1984 when they sponsored the Victory Tour. We all remember that infamous commercial with his hair caught on fire. They sponsored the Bad Tour and the Dangerous Tour and made commercials for both them eras. And they announced today that all over the world, from US to China, they were making a campaign involving Michael Jackson in the state, agreeing to it. They were making collectible cans honoring the 25th anniversary of aforementioned album Bad. China's going to have a campaign to win tickets to see Immortal in late in May. The US will launch a retail campaign including a limited edition 16-ounce Michael Jackson Pepsi can, as well as a music-themed promotion from retail. Like I said, it'll be all over the world, but China in America will be doing it first. They're also going to run contests in many countries to give away a lot of jackets and tickets, like I said, the Immortal World Tour. And you know me, I'm a huge MJ fan. I want that can. I want that 16-ounce can of Michael. It's coming out late this month, so I can't wait to see the MJ promotion Pepsi. I'm glad they're back together again, Michael and Pepsi. I think they're also working with Nicki Minaj as well for their little campaign. So there you go. MJ in his estate working again with Pepsi to honor 20th anniversary of Bad. Now, on with the TV news. Since I didn't make a technical for yesterday, give my review for last Tuesday's Glee. Weird episode of Glee on Tuesday night. A lot of various storylines developing, including a wife beating, girl beating theme with Santana and Mercedes singing songs to Coach Beach, who apparently got hit by her husband, Cooter, saying she's going to move out, but never did. Song Shake It Out by Florence Machine, which was a highlight despite a stupid segment. Also involving the Nayada auditions, with Kurt taking a risk. Instead of doing a song he was going to for Phantom of the Opera, he did a song from the musical where Hugh Jackman won a Tony for and got praise from Whoopi, who played the Nayada Scout. And Rachel choked on her own standby. Don't rain on my parade. Well, rain on a parade indeed. So she didn't make it to Nayada, maybe cut well. Also, we saw the whole Puck thing. It was kind of a weird episode. Not a lot of Quinn in this episode. Like, there's some people not getting involved that much. But we'll see what happens next week on Glee. Hopefully it's better. We got a couple weeks left, especially next week being prom. Hearing Quinn may want to be prom queen again. Last year, that plan failed. See if Finn and Quinn become prom king and queen this time. In Brittany, we know she's president, but you haven't seen her much since elected president for student council. So we'll see what happens on Glee next week on Fox. Now, dancing-wise, 2 words, kind of bullshit, but not exactly bullshit. Jaleel White got eliminated this past Tuesday. Now, he was good at the beginning. He kind of slacked a little bit, you know. He deserved another chance, but Melissa Gilbert should have gone home in my mind. So, Melissa Gilbert, you're going home next week, honey. Honey, bye, Melissa, next week. Hopefully, America gets it right, and the judges get it right next week. Hopefully, not only will America send Melissa Gilbert to the bottom 2, but only the judges will send her home in the dance duel. So, hope everyone plays their cards right, and hope Melissa Gilbert goes bye-bye. Bye-bye, Melissa. Sorry, we gotta get rid of the fat. We don't want the finals getting screwed up. Like last year. Almost. Now, the Modern Family was on last night. Speaking of weird episodes, okay episode last night. After a week off, it returned with the planes, trains, and automobiles theme with Jay trying to get to a class reunion to show off Gloria. Many attempts to get on an airplane failed. And Cam and Mitchell had lost a bunny. They found them eventually. Well, not exactly, but they found a Luke Skywalker down that Cam lost, that Mitch lost. But they called it hers. Also, we saw a storyline in there with Phil and Claire. Phil getting a sports car without Claire. Claire running off with it to the coast. It was a good episode. It was an okay episode of Modern last night. And hopefully next week, the Disneyland episode should be awesome. Alright. Now, before we get to TNA preview for the night, as I mentioned last week, Rey Mysterio got suspended for amphetamines. Well, there's been a lot more news concerning Rey Mysterio. It appeared that the drug test that he took actually took place on February 13th. So they've known about this for some time before addressing it last week. It was held in his hometown of San Diego. He was not wrestled, he was visiting backstage. Like I said, it was his hometown. He was still instructed to take a drug test. In the days that followed, he spoke to John Laurinaitis and told him he could be ready for a ring return in June, but now it's till July because of his suspension. Now, I'm hearing they're not going to push him that much because of his suspension. It's been rumored that he's been attempting to get back and shed some weight. He may have taken a dietary supplement of amphetamines, causing the drug test failure. There's been a amount of backstage heat on him taking a drug test. And like I said, they're not going to get anything significant for Way. They're not going to push him that hard when he comes back. If he ever comes back. So, and I'd said they've known about this since February, but they haven't formally announced it to the world until last week. Now, on to TNA Impact Wrestling preview for tonight. You know what that means. Top 5 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 5. We'll go down between Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Now, last week, Ric Flair had an Eric Bischoff goodbye ceremony, which ended with Garrett Bischoff coming out and dumping Eric in a porta potty. We found out it wasn't poop, it was actually chocolate syrup. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know where I heard it from. A source said it was chocolate syrup instead of poop used in the porta potty scene with Bischoff last week. I don't know who officiated that, but that's what I heard. So anyway, Flair was mad about the way Bischoff was sent off with Garrett interfering. So Flair was going to call Hogan to face the facts and have a little face-off. Old man battle. We'll see what happens there. Question number 4. We'll go down to Knockouts Tag tonight. Well, last week we saw Gail Kim in a non-title match doing open fight night against Brooke Tessmacher. Tessmacher pinned her again. Well, tonight she may get another chance to pin her again as she teams up with Velvet against Gail and Madison. We'll see if Brooke pins Gail again tonight. The feud develop a little bit more. We don't know who's taking on Gail at Sacrifice yet. I'm guessing it'll be Brooke for a little push she's been getting. So there you go. We'll see what happens there. Speaking of Sacrifice, I mentioned that. Will anything else be announced for Sacrifice? A lot of matches have been made for Sacrifice. The World Title match, Tag Team titles, and a one-on-one between Angle and AJ. I'll talk about them in a moment as I get to question number 2. I mentioned Gail maybe defending her title. I'm guessing against Brooke Tessmacher. We may find that out this week because the pay-per-view is next week. So there you go. Probably next 2 weeks we're going to find out more about Sacrifice. Speaking of Sacrifice, question number 2. We'll go down a 6-man tag. Well, it'll be a preview of Sacrifice as AJ will team up with the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Magnus and Samoa Joe, against their Sacrifice opponents, Kurt Angle, who's taking on AJ, and the guys who kind of helped AJ lose and taking on the Tag Team Champions after getting shafted last week, Kaz and Daniels. Like I mentioned, Kaz and Daniels got shafted out open fight night last week. Instead of getting picked, they got shafted over Hardy and Anderson. Nothing on them this week yet. Probably will find out between them after the little conflict last week. So we'll see what happens in the 6-man tag. Heading towards Sacrifice. Little build-up. Little Sacrifice preview with these 2 matches teaming up with each other. And question number 1. We'll go down between RVD and Bobby Roode. Speaking of Sacrifice, I mentioned to be a TNA World Title match. RVD taking on Bobby Roode. Now, RVD and Bobby Roode will name each other's opponents tonight. It's like a pick your poison night. Bobby Roode will name RVD's opponent, and RVD will do the same, naming Bobby's opponent. We'll see who they picked, and see what happens on the road to Sacrifice tonight at 9, 8 Central on Impact Wrestling on Spike TV. That's it for the Atakline for today. I'll see you all later for my TNA Impact review. Then mine, they've all been attacked by the news from Zach. Thank you very much. See you later. Yeah.